Guys, so it's 12:30 at night, and I'm sitting here doing my February favorites, my February wrap-up slash TBR, March TBR, and it's March 7th, and I feel really bad because I'm doing this really late, and I'm sorry if I look gross. It's due to the fact that I've been sleeping and working all day. And I decided, hey, I'm going to do this video right now. So the first book that I read this month was Politically Correct Bedtime Stories, and this is really funny. I thought it's good for laughs. I liked it. I don't know. I feel like some people might read it and get a little offended, but I mean, I don't care about politics. But it has, your basic, it has the Emperor's New Clothes. Because, Rapunzel, Little Red Riding Hood, Three Little Pigs, Snow White. I think they have Snow White. Rumpelstiltskin. No, they don't. Oh, yeah. Goldilocks, Cinderella. They have a lot of stories. It's a really quick, short read. So I really enjoyed that. This is by James Finn Gardner. The next book I read was actually an ebook. Well, I know, I got it on my phone. It was Taking Chances by Molly McAdams. I have mixed feelings about that book. I really enjoyed it, but at the same time I really didn't. It's a very, very classic romance novel. Very, very, love triangle. This perfect world. Like, obviously there were relationship issues, but the main girl basically had guys falling over her wherever she went. So, I don't know. It was good, though. I liked the characters and the growth of the characters, I suppose. But, I mean, as far as the story, it was really cliche. The next book I read was Me and Earl and the Dying Girl by Jessie Andrews. And, oh my goodness, I loved this book. It took me maybe, 3-4 days to finish. I will say something, though. Greg, who is me, I hated him. I loved Earl, and I loved Rachel. But as far as Greg goes, I didn't really like him. But I did like the story, and I liked the way it was written. It was very interesting. It has, most of the dialogue has this, kind of screenplay look to it, like a script, because they make films. I thought it was really interesting. And then the last book that I read personally was Memoirs of a Teenage Amnesiac by Gabrielle Zevin. I have been wanting to read this book for a while. I kept seeing it at the bookstore, and I was like, you know what, I should pick this up, it's going to be really good. I've heard great things about it, but I never did. And then finally I found it. It was like $4, so I was like, why not? Really, really good book. I really liked it, and it was a lot better than I thought it would be. I think I rated it on Goodreads. I don't actually remember. And the last final book that I read was a reread, and it was One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest by Ken Kesey. Still just as great as it ever was. I actually have a Cuckoo's Nest test today, I suppose, since it's 12:30 in the morning, for school, so we'll see how that goes. And then I actually have one other book that I've read / I'm currently reading, and that's Sarah Dessen's Dreamland. It's over on my bedside table, and I just am too lazy to go get it, but that book is my first book that I'm going to finish in this month. And then I actually have a stack of books to read this month, and now that I look at it, this is just not going to happen. So I feel like I'm just going to tell you the top. I have 6 books here, and it's really not likely I'm going to read all of them. But I'm just going to tell you them all anyways, because these are the top 6 books that I hope to read this month / next month, because I have spring break, and I say I'm going to read a lot, but I probably won't. The first book is going to be, though, Parts of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky. I actually haven't read this book. I've seen the movie. I love the movie. I started the book, and then I got distracted and started reading something else. I'm pretty sure this is going to be a really quick, easy read, so I'm not too worried about finishing it. This is going to be the first one I read after I finish Sarah Dessen's. I'm so excited to read this. I've been meaning to. I've had this since Christmas, so hopefully, I finish this ASAP. The next book I want to read because the movie is coming out. There's actually 2 books that I have that I want to read before the movie comes out. And the first one is World War Z by Max Brooks. I got this one also at Christmas. And I know the movie and the book aren't going to be anything alike. There's kind of the same time period idea that Max Brooks had versus the story. I'm really excited to read this, so this will probably be my second book. Because who doesn't love a good zombie novel? And the other book that I've been wanting to read that I've had again since Christmas, that is a movie coming out soon. It's City of Bones. I'm not sure when the movie's coming out. It might not be until like September. And if that's the case, this is probably not going to get read this month. It'll probably get read actually over the summer. But I don't know. I have the first 4 books, and I started reading this book. I think I read the first chapter on like a free sample on my phone, and it was really good. So I feel like once I actually start reading this book, I won't have any trouble getting through it. So those are the 3 books that are my must read for this month. I actually said these are my 3 that I'm going to read this month, for sure. And then the last 3 I'm just going to kind of tell you about, and these will be on my backup. The first one is Haunted by Chuck Palahniuk, and I've actually started this book. It's kind of short stories, so I was kind of able to stop reading it. It was really interesting and kind of sick and perverted, but then again, what do you expect from Chuck Palahniuk? So, I don't know, I really liked it. I think it'll be a good book. This cover's glow in the dark. I didn't know that when I bought it. Because I had it on my bedside table, and it was under light, and then I turned up the light. This face was glowing at me. I freaked out. It was so freaking scary. And then the last 2, the first one is If I Stay by Gail Forman, and I might just pick this and read this up, maybe in between one of the books, because I feel like this is going to be probably a really easy read, and I hear it's a great story, so I really want to read this. And the last one is this is kind of my book for this rest of the school year to read, because I don't know how well I'll like this. And that's A Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. I've heard good things about it. I've always heard good things, but I don't know how I'll get over the writing style of Oscar Wilde, because this is 1800s, so I don't know if I'll be able to get through the dialect very easily. But this is my one classic for the year / this semester. So yeah, these are it's probably very ambitious to put 6 books on my TBR, and because I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 books for last month, and one of them was very, very short, and then so I've read 4 books. And of course I will have spring break, so I'm hoping that'll give me some time to read some of these, and I need to stop sleeping as much and start reading. So yeah, alright, I will go and post this, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.